But one of the first things I want to talk to you guys about is a big question that's looming on everyone's mind, and that is, can Kamala Harris, turn Texas blue? I think I know. Well, I'm not going to say I know what your guys' answer are, but this came from a Newsweek article. I think it was an unsigned article, so I'm not even sure who wrote it, but it came from a Newsweek article last week. Actually, I'm sorry, this was 2 days ago, where they were talking about how Biden closing the gap in 2020 and other Democrats such as Beto O'Rourke coming in close to Senator Ted Cruz, and Senator Ted Cruz also being slightly concerned about this election. There's the article. Ewan Palmer. Sorry, didn't see that. Usually I look on the top left, top right, or bottom, but there you go. Anyway, and so because of all of that, they're saying that, well, he's alleging that there is a possibility, a slight possibility, but a possibility nonetheless. I'm just curious what you guys might think of that topic.
Well, first off, I'm not in the habit of listening to fucking London-based UK reporters on what's going to happen in Texas. Am I right, boys?
You're right.
Hell yeah, brother. No, there's no fucking way that she's going to turn Texas blue, but who the fuck knows, you know? I guess if maybe everyone's favorite Texan, Beyonce, comes out and, you know, does some more concerts for her, and that's, let's be real, people are going to see Kamala Harris. And Beyonce is just a side act, right?
Yeah.
If she comes out and really pushes for her, then, you know, who knows? Maybe it could happen, right? But it seems like a stretch, right? No? Yes?
Yeah, no, it's not happening.
Ooh, Michael.
I give it a less than 1% chance. As I said in previous episode, I think she has a chance to win. And I think currently the front runner, based on momentum and the Trump campaign's and conservative incoherence that's going on right now. But that doesn't mean she's going to flip solid red states like Texas. I pulled the past polling, and the latest poll from August has Trump up 7 on chameleon.
Kamalama Ding Dong.
No, I think chameleon's that's the name. That's the nickname. I don't know why they haven't got that yet. And then if you look back in July, it was when we had the last Cruz all red polls. Cruz up 8, 10, and 3 in July, and Trump up on Biden 9, 10, and 9. And then go back to those July, and then you go back to June. It looked a little bit tighter, you know, pre-assassination. Trump up as many as 11, but as little as 5. Cruz up 3 and 4. No, there's no chance she's turning Texas blue. Her candidacy and the supposed grassroots support is largely constructed. She was anointed by the top brass and donor class. She's a pick of the oligarchs and the globalist class. She doesn't really have any grassroots supports other than people who are excited it's not Biden. The election will be, as we all know, decided on tight margins in the Midwest and the Sun Belt. And no, there's no chance she's flipping Texas the same way that I don't think, based on the new dynamics, is flipping Virginia. You know, I think it's going to come down to those 6 or 7 states.
You too.
No, I heard him.
I don't believe you.
He said that Kamala's not going to flip Texas based on the polling, in the same way that Trump isn't going to flip Virginia based on the latest polling that came out.
Okay, well, there's a slight cutout. I just want to make sure that if I'm the only one hearing it, then that's fine. But if you also hear it, Charles, and maybe the listeners hear it, and so just clarification, calm the.
I do want to throw out a wild card. I got a phone call. That was probably what it was. I do want to throw out a wild card though. October surprise. You ready for my prediction?
Yes.
That's going to give her a bump. They are going to get a major win on the foreign policy front. I think it's going to be Israel-Hamas war. They're going to secure a ceasefire and the return of the hostages, and Kamala is going to get the progressives, Israel groups out, making these races closer than they otherwise would be. That's my prediction.
That's a good prediction. I mean, it'll be a year post October 7th, so you know.
You're talking about October surprises, and I am seeing predictions of a different October surprise. Let me pull it up. Charles, go ahead and make your point, and I'll pull it up.
Well, I was just going to say, I agree with both of you. I don't think there's a chance in hell that she's going to flip Texas. But I will say that if she does the job that Beto did when he ran against Cruz and she closes the gap enough, it becomes problematic for all of the down ballot races in split district or, 50-50 districts or even near 50-50 districts. Certainly when it comes to judicial races, like our judicial races in Harris County, which always flip with the presidential, things like that. I think that's where it becomes concerning. But you're right. I don't think she's going to flip it. But I do have a trivia for you guys on this topic after Brad shows us what he wants to show us.
Here's the October surprise that I'm seeing, that there's back channels that there's a Kamala sex.
Oh my God.
What?
She is
something pulled off the internet. It's VHS era tape, and it's been digitized. It's an unhinged. I mean, you guys can read it. I feel uncomfortable saying it because I'm a proper. And Miss Blain might be listening, and I don't, you know how that goes. I don't want to.
Where did you find this?
What do you mean?
That's 4chan.
Oh.
No, that's not 4chan. That's not 4chan at all. But I mean, maybe it was posted on 4chan, but someone took it from there somewhere else. I'm just saying, with Kamala's history, who knows?
Anyway, my trivia for you guys: when was there are three things I'm asking. When was the last Democratic presidential candidate to win? Who?
Jimmy Carter.
What year?
1979.
79?
76.
Brad, what's your choice?
I mean, I was going to say 76. He threw me off with 79 because that's
okay.
Not
Well, pick one.
76.
All right, you're right. The last Democratic Senate win was
Lloyd Benson.
Okay, you're Googling this.
I'm looking at the fucking article that you shared.
I'm not looking at the article. 1982.
88.
Dang.
And stop looking at the article, Brad.
All right, I won't say anything, and Michael can get the next one because it's going to be a fucking layup.
The last Democrat to win the governor's mansion.
1996. Ann Richards.
90.
90?
1990.
I thought Bush beat her in 2000. No, he won president in 2000.
Won president.
There's a couple of points from this Newsweek article. So they interview this guy, Eshba Soha. I don't know how to pronounce his name. It's a North Texas University American politics professor. Said that one issue which could harm Harris is that voters in Texas may still associate her with the record-breaking levels of illegal migrant crossing seen at the border during the Biden administration, which the way that's worded is kind of weird. Like people might associate with, she is associated with it 100%. 100%. It says, I think that Harris' campaign is a good strategy, tout the immigration bill that Trump torpedoed earlier this year and use that as a framework for her immigration policy. Instead of trying to fend off attacks related to the border over the past few years, she can go on the offensive and basically give the voters a blueprint of specifics that she supports, thinks that will solve the problem, and let the voters decide. Now, I'm curious if y'all think that would work, but also, I still don't understand why this shit works for people. I mean, she doesn't care if the border is wide open. She can tell you all day long, these are the things that I support. These are the things that I'm going to do on day one. She's already in there. The borders are. Why isn't she doing it now? But these are she doesn't have, there's no requirement to tell the truth. She's going to lie. So them all, but I don't understand.
I think that there are two separate populations you got to think about. That'll simplify it as much as possible. One is people who vote on the border. Those people already know her record. They're not going to be persuaded by this. They don't care what she says. They know what she has said in the past and what her policies on the border have been in the past. So let's forget about them.
Okay.
But the second group of people that don't vote on the border, they're the independents in the center that are going to vote more generally on issues, one of which is the border. And I think her message for them, she's trying to position herself as a moderate, but her message for them, I think, is going to be, both my parents came to this country legally, and that's how immigrants should come to the country, and we need to make it easier for them to do so. And she's trying to moderate with that crowd. I'm strong on the border. I support legal immigration. That's how my parents got here, and that's what I want to do as president. She's moderating for that crowd so that she doesn't seem like an open borders extremist. And that will work on the center.
Sure. I agree with you that it will work. I just don't know why the center will believe her.
I mean, it's the same. Everybody believes whoever they want to believe, right? They just believe whatever elected official or politician saying the nicest thing to them at any given moment.
Sure.
You know, we were told all the prior to Trump's first term, he was going to build the wall and complete it, and Mexico's going to pay for it. Never came to fruition, but yet we're still believing it the third time around.
What are you, some sort of like anti-Trumper? What the fuck's wrong with you, huh? Mexico did pay for the wall, and it's the Democrats that blocked it, man. What the fuck is wrong with you, huh?
Yeah, it's a battle over the center.
You need to turn down your microphone just like a hair. It burns out a little bit, just a hair. Yeah, I just don't know. I don't understand why people believe it. They get lied to all the time. Dane's back.
You know, I think it's people believe it.
Agree with you, Dane. He's not coming. He's too loud and not clear enough.
Who, Michael?
Yes.
I think they believe it because they want something to hope for. I think they want something to hope they need a basis for hope. So they're going to latch on.
Some hope and change. We've gone through that, Charles.
We did. Okay, great topic, fellas. If anybody has any closing thoughts on it, great. But if not, I want to switch to a much more important topic.
I can't wait.
Our Social Security numbers were stolen.
All of them.
Well, 2.9 billion of them, and they're selling for $3.5 million, which I feel like is a little low.
Well, hold on, stop. You feel like that sure, the price might be low. Don't you feel like 2.9 billion Social Security